Welcome to Podtendo, a Nintendo podcast, where they analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games. Hey guys, welcome to the final Podtendo podcast of 2022. Pretty excited. This is our wrap-up Christmas show. We're coming at you. We are a Podtendo podcast where we analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games. You can find on Twitter, Podtendo Podcast. Actually, I don't really do that. Email us if you want to get a hold of us. Sorry, guys. I dropped the ball. Podtendo@gmail.com. Other socials are available. We're a review, pop culture, retrospective, something, let's play show. I'm your co-host, Mick. I'm joined every episode by my lovely and talented co-host,
Tyson.
Cool. All right. There.
Excellent.
Got slightly distracted along the line, but I figured it out.
Yeah, well, got a little ahead of ourselves. But we got a fun it's a fun time of year, I guess, if the weather's not too terrible, because you kind of reminisce on, hey, what came out this year? What fun things did I miss? So you got to go back and relive all those things that came out this year that you just overlooked.
So you spend December just living your life with regret and looking at all the things you regret not doing throughout the rest of the year? It's kind of
no, you just catch up, because there's you can't stay up on music. Can't stay up on
I have no musical, whatever that is, that empathy, that connection, zero. Music is just I don't know. I'm not a music person, hence why we don't do a lot of music on the Podtendo show. But if this is this is kind of like our fun Christmas show, and typically what we'll do is sometimes we'll find a newer game to play, and this is kind of a newer game that came out, but it's kind of a throwback to a retro time of genre series, as it were. So that's why we're kind of chipping away and picking at it today. It's fun stuff.
Yeah. Kind of been a weird out of the blue year of the Turtles, with this game being released, and then the Cowabunga collection, which is so strange that these games have just been lost for so long and so hard to get your hands on. Then here's a remake, or not a remake, but here's kind of a reimagined or modern take, and then here's a collection. You're like, cool, I'll take it.
Well, I
didn't expect it, but I'll take it.
I mean, this game makes sense if they're in development and they're just we'll just throw everything together and throw a collection out, because that's what people do and like to buy. It's true. I do like to buy them, so. All right.
Well, it's nice to put it on the shelf, and then you can stare at it. Be like, I could play those games. I'm not going to, but I could.
Yeah, that's kind of how my life works. So, with that rambling, we ramble in the next show, so we won't ramble too much. That's our year-end review show coming out on New Year's. So we will actually spend time. I think that's why Tyson's got a little bit on the brain. We're probably recording it right afterwards, so there you go. Peek behind the curtain. But today we are playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Came out this year. It's not retro, but it's kind of theory retro. Development details of this game. No, vital stats. We developed by Tribute Games. It sold over 1 million copies within the first week of release. Man, those turtles still have their green color is probably because of all the money they make. Release date was June 16th, 2022. How Long to Beat has this game at 2.5 hours. Price at release was $45. No inflation needed. On eBay, you can get a copy of this game for $45. And on the eShop, you can get this game for $45. Unless you grabbed it on Black Friday. So it's $25. So at this point, I'd probably wait till Boxing Day, and it's probably $25. So if you haven't played it yet, wait. It's Friday. Wait Saturday. Wait Sunday. And then on Monday it'll be Boxing Day, and you can probably get it for $20. There you go. Good stuff. Where to play? It's available on the PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and Windows. Cool.
Yeah. Very available. There was even a limited collector's physical run of this game.
Oh, no. It's not limited. It's now freely available. When I was out in a Best Buy recently.
Perfect.
It was whenever I
I'm
went
okay.
to go get those speakers, there was a shelf. There was 5 copies of this sitting on a shelf somewhere. So,
You know
yes.
what? That makes me happy because a bunch of kids are gonna wake up and play video games, and this might be one of those games that is
Oh,
just mixed in the
or
bunch.
somebody's showing up because like their grandma already bought them a game and they go to release it and they only get store credits and they look at this and it's $25 and they're like, I'll try it. They're gonna have a phenomenal time. Like this is an amazing achievement. We kind of had actually after playing this game, I went back and listened to our Turtles in Time and we kind of reminisced as that's like the golden age of the Ninja Turtles and video games. And then we talked and then we talked the movie, so I listened to those and it's kind of nostalgic and like this is just so much nostalgia and good stuff in one place. And I'm glad that people are easily going to be able to get physical copies of this, right? And it's not some limited digital thing that's going to be kind of behind almost like a one of the industry standards. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, no, it's going to be good. Will I buy more copies? Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out.
You know what? If I'm standing in line and it's on sale, I'll
Oh,
maybe just grab it for a different system.
yeah. So I mean, I don't have it on all my systems yet, so and it's available for a lot of them. It's good
Yep. Yep.
times. Cool. That's it. So we're going to, before we do anything else and talk more about this game, we have to jump into our patented Wayback Machine and travel all the way back to June 16th, 2022. Laugh, but that would be an achievement. If you could go from December to June in 1 year, it's like a small step in time travel, right? Maybe that's all we can ever do. Come on, guys, give me a break. And we're going to look at what the pop cultural landscape looked like and ask, do we want to go back there? I bet you I know the answer. All right, so top TV shows. This month, I wasn't going to do a Simpsons thing because I don't want to spend too much time going back 6 months. Top TV shows. The Bear came out. Hacks, Miss Marvel, Peaky Blinders, and Barry.
Fun.
Yeah. We'll get into it, but lots of lists include Barry. It's a good series if you haven't. Miss Marvel, not the greatest Disney Plus series. In fact, it was kind of uneven. But The Bear, if you haven't watched The Bear, it's about a guy who runs a little restaurant. It's kind of intense and it's pretty good. It's like 6 episodes. I'd maybe recommend it. Like it might be my show of the year.
Oh, that's good. I
Yeah.
know. I've heard good things. Haven't watched a lick of it.
It's an interesting show. Top cartoon shows was we saw the Cuphead show, Daniel Spellbound, Dead End Paranormal Park, and Deepa and Anupa.
I
Dead,
think the Cuphead show was interesting.
Dead End.
It's kind of like I love that Cuphead was a throwback to old Disney animation,
Yeah.
and now it actually is as an animated show where they use a lot of that animation. It's like I miss this stuff. It's very like the stretchy and all that kind of goofy stuff. It's like it's just a fun watch.
Yeah, would there have been a market of a streaming service if somebody had all of the rights to say the old like Hanna-Barbera, Warner Brothers cartoons? You remember like Retro? What was it called? Teletoon Retro? It was just that. Like those things should still exist because you know what I love watching? Spending an hour just sitting and watching Looney Tunes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I missed the Bugs Bunny and Tweety show. I
Yeah.
wish they would like. There was somewhere I could stream that. There is like some Hanna Barbera stuff. Like I know in the States, I have no idea how it works, but in Canada on Amazon, there's like now Teletoon Plus because everything needs a TV show. So then there's just a bunch of video on demand, so you can watch all of that stuff. There, it Courage
Yeah.
the Cowardly Dog, and you're like, I should watch this, and I just didn't.
Well, I think we're also getting to the end of the streaming services as we know it because I think they're going to start just becoming one big conglomeration. And
Yeah, or you're gonna see people kind of more diversify. Like I feel like what's happening with HBO, and I guess we're going off on a quick tangent, so I'll make it quick. I think that the whole HBO Max thing is them being like, let's not run a streaming service, let's rent our stuff out to streaming services, and then we make money that way. Cause
yeah, that probably
like
makes as much. But
Yeah, well,
HBO and
yeah.
Warner Brothers, in my mind, are like somehow tied together. And why would Warner Brothers make any good decisions from a movie company point of view?
yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, cool. Top movies that came out this week. You could have saw The Minions, Rise of Gru, Lightyear, and Elvis. All right. Still in theaters, you could see Jurassic Park, Dominion. Haven't watched that yet. It's kind of weird, right? Bob's Burgers movie, and Top Gun Maverick. Haven't seen that one either, so I'm not doing well in the movies this year. If we waited a week or two, we could see Thor, Love and Thunder, Bullet Train, and nope.
Wow, these some big movies that came out around this time. I've seen the Bob's Burgers movie. That's how good I'm doing so far.
Yeah, I've only seen 2 of those, so you can guess which ones I've seen. Top video games that came out this month were Diablo Immortal, Wonder Boy Collection. I don't know what that is, but I do enjoy collections, so I was like, should I buy this? Mario Strikers. I haven't heard great things. Mario Strikers Battle League, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, and Sonic Origins.
Okay, yeah. Did Sonic Origins have Sonic 3
Sonic
and Knuckles?
Origins. I don't know what this is. What is Sonic Origins?
Also, if the Mario Strikers, while you're looking that up, Mario Strikers, why are you not being like, this is the World Cup year? This would be a great year for all those.
Come out later and like everyone could like represent a country, and you should do more online play instead of just creating a stupid bare bones experience that no one wants to play because there's no unlock activity because you just give everyone all their characters at launch.
Yeah,
I don't know. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Sonic CD.
Perfect. You know what? I'm fine with that Origins collection.
I was like, maybe I'll buy that and Wonder Boy collection. All right, and then the top 3 songs according to the Billboard charts around this time. I completely forgot I was going to do this. I just my phone.
Okay.
All right.
While you're doing that, do not play Diablo Immortal. It's a big cash grab. Don't do it, people. It's a bad game. Yeah. Please stop voting it up and thinking it's good. Please.
Okay, and then top 3 songs according to the Billboard charts. Number 3 was "Wait for You" by Future. Fun. All right.
Slow mumble rap.
Yeah. I literally don't know any new music because I'm not that guy. So the number 2 songs. These are the first time I'm ever hearing these clips. That's where I'm at. Sit down, boomer. Yeah, I'll sit down. I'm sorry. Number 2 was "First Class" by Jack Harlow. I've been throw up the sex in and I can put you in. Is he sampling Gwen Stefani?
Probably. That's all new music does.
Or is that Fergie?
Yeah, that's
First
Fergie.
Class. So wait, so Fergie is now so old people are sampling her music?
Yeah, I guess so.
What happened?
So.
How did they get so old?
Well, it's okay to be old because you know what? It's okay to enjoy the time you grew up in. I enjoy the time I grew up in. Right. New music baffles and confuses me, and I'm strange.
All right,
I've become the old man yelling at a cloud.
Yeah, pull back the peek behind the curtains. I really like this game. I'm excited to talk about this. I wanted to get through this as quickly as possible. I realized we spent 13 minutes and we're not through the Wayback Machine. I apologize. Number 1 song was "As It Was" by Harry Styles, and then we're talking about turtles. So just bear with me. One more sound clip, and then we're out of here. So. Oh, yeah. Okay. I've heard that song. I know it was just the beat, but okay, cool. Well, I'm glad that one of the Jonas Brothers did something after his boy band career was over.
Yeah. I'm sure the Backstreet Boys want him back, though.
Hey, there you go. He might be One Direction. I don't know. I'm not really sure. All right, cool. So that's it. So now we're into the Turtles game non-stop. Nothing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from this point onward. Cool. Development details.
Finally.
Development details. So the game was developed by Montreal-based Tribute Games. They had previously worked on Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Probably for the GameCube? The company has been pushing to make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game since 2010. The game was inspired by the animated series from 1987 and the arcade game in the 1990s, such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time. While the game paid homage to the older Turtles game, the team wanted to modernize the series by introducing a variety of quality of life enhancements. online multiplayer, and locations that have not been seen in 2D games. The game features voice acting from the original cast from the 1987 series.
Yeah, yeah. This game is just created with so much love. It's so fun. I love all the little references and the sound bites. And if you are at all familiar with the 87 cartoon, there's so much of like characters popping in that you're like, I remember this. Or if you're familiar with the toy line, it'll just like it's a nostalgic overload, which is
people that
right
are
up my alley.
yeah, like 30-plus-year-old men and women that had that experience of having the Turtles toys or like TV shows in their lives are going to go back to this, and you're going to be like, I completely forgot about Ground Chuck. Like, that's a thing, but like, I remember him, but I forgot about him. So it's super fun. Some trivia from this fun game. So the opening FMV features a cover of Mike Patton from the classic theme song from the 1987 TV cartoon, originally composed by Chuck Lorre. In early footage of the game, Tiffany is seen reclining in a desk while Bebop flirts with her before they flee. This was changed in the final release to be the first instance of Bebop forcing Vernon to film him with a camera. Tiffany can be seen in the game running in the crowd at the very beginning. I don't know who Tiffany is.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm like, I played this game literally on release, so I was like, what?
Tiffany?
Who's this character? When was this?
Teenage Ninja Turtles. Oh, she's okay. Yeah, all right, sure. I think she's like the April O'Neil's girlfriend or something, or no, April O'Neil's boss's girlfriend.
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
All right. And then Rob Paulsen is the only original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle actor that did not voice a second character, despite two of his previous roles being in the game, Wingnut and Taka. In the game, he is credited as Slash, but this was an error as he was voiced by Sean Gurnsley. Great. So they screwed up the credits.
Yes.
That's my negative criticism of this game is they screwed up the credits.
100%. And you know what? And they patched out Tiffany.
Yeah, they changed it. I wanted Tiffany to flirt with Bebop. I wanted her to have a thing for pigs.
And how dare you?
Oh, that's mean.
Your credits right.
Because like, what's April O'Neil's boss? There's Vern and
Vern.
No, Vern is the other reporter. What's the Bond? Because he's chunky. They're saying he's a pig, so she's got a thing for pigs. That's mean. You shouldn't say that. That's fat shaming.
Oh, that's probably why they patched it out. Mine didn't even go there. I was just like, haha.
No, that's just
because Bebop's obviously just a charming guy.
I guess. I mean, I was joking. I don't think that's actually the case. You're being too sensitive if that's a thing they thought about. All right. So the controls of this game. Now, any comments on the development details?
No, I'm still trying to figure out who the heck the boss was.
Vern and no. All right. How about the controls? So, reimagined beat 'em up controls. You can move around the screen. You can attack, grab, and jump. Combinations of those can create a variety of attacks, from upward thrusts to you can throw the foot soldiers or enemies into the screen. You can perform special attacks, and you can pick any of the 4 turtles from the beginning, including Master Splinter, April, and if you beat the game, you get Casey Jones.
Yeah, very, very nice little plethora of characters. It's nice that you can have so many people off the start, but you do have the ability to unlock somebody. Like, thank you for adding that little unlockable. It's a small touch. And technically, like, Casey's maybe the best character, but
100%. Now, I played 2 playthroughs. I actually didn't play through as any turtles. I played through April O'Neil, and then I played.
That's my recommended playthrough for everybody.
She's tough because she's so weak. So she's fast, great. You can dodge and you can dip and you can dive and you can duck and you can dodge with her. But when you go to deal damage, everyone takes so many hits. Versus you go to play Casey Jones and he's got 3 points of strength instead of her 1, and it's just That's so fair. Much better. Like, foot soldiers go down in like 2 hits or 3 hits or a diving elbow attack. It's just night and day. And I'm kind of curious to go back and maybe play as someone else, because I don't know if April is that great. Why did I find April so fun? Because I played through my first playthrough. I was going to play through as Raph, as I usually do, but I was like, no, I'm going to play through as Leo, kind of get like the base experience.
And it was fun. Like it was like a lot of fun. I had a blast with it. But then I started playing as April, and I realized that her jump kick is ridiculous. She's so fast because she essentially can just move freely wherever she wants with her jump kick, and it just does damage to anybody in her way. So instead of having to dodge or anything, I could just spam jump kick and just fly around the screen, destroying everything.
So had I listened to your actual conversation when you told me that months ago, and I would have been like, okay, jump kick, instead of just trying to like grapple and like beat him up everyone with April and like struggling through my first playthrough, I should have just jump kicked everywhere.
Yeah, just spam that sucker. And it's just like, she just flies. It's amazing. And that's why we realized like this game has a lot of fun to it, because I was playing as the turtle and I wasn't spamming that. But then I played as April, and it's like, no, this makes sense. She's super fast. And then I was played as Casey Jones, and it's like, oh, okay, this is kind of like just a tanky beat 'em up mega style. It's like this lot, and it's nice that there's a good variety, so you can do those things. I love that they included all the characters that they did, and they even included April.
Yeah,
for a change.
Instead of being the damsel in distress or just hanging out, she has some karate moves. No, it's really cool. In terms of individual turtles, play for yourself. We're not going to give away everything, so you have to kind of do a little bit of work yourself, guys. Again, it's a good deal. In a couple days, you're going to be able to buy this for $25. Amazing experience. Is it the best game that came out this year? In some people's mind, yes. In other people's, no. But it's like, I saw it on a lot of top 10 lists when I was doing some research for our next show. So it's well acclaimed. It's a great game. Go buy it. And then you can find out how the four turtles play for yourself. First memories of this game. Well, Tyson first told me it was coming out, and he was so excited for it. Then it came out, and he asked, have you played it yet? He was really enjoying it. And I was like, no, I don't buy digital games. I need a physical copy. So I had to wait till October before the physical release came out. And at that point, I already knew that we were doing the show for Christmas, so I kind of put it off until a week or two before. And that's my first memories of this game. Tyson, what are your first memories of Shredder's Revenge?
Well, I'm a big Turtles fan. So I found out this game was coming out and the Cowabunga collection was coming out. So I played it day one and beat it, and then played it again with April and beat it. And then I just kind of like messed around with it, and it was fun. I don't know. It's definitely not a super long experience or super in-depth experience. I ended up playing it on Game Pass, and then I ended up buying it when I went on sale, because I like physical copies, but I'm not going to go to my way and wait. I'm one of those suckers that will buy a game twice. I'll buy it digitally, and then I'll buy it physically, so I can download it straight to my console and not have to worry about a disc. But I like having the disc there. So I'm probably the worst video game consumer of all time.
Yeah.
But I don't pre-order stuff, so I bought this after it came out because I wanted to make sure it was good. And yeah, played it on Game Pass because I think that's probably the best way of doing it. Like having a month of Game Pass and just wrapping a bunch of the short indie games that are fun, and then just moving on and not having a subscription for a very long time. Because I did that. I had like a year for a while, and it was just not. There's lots to play, but there's not like a game that you will want to sink your teeth into every single day. It's like I kind of like a good variety, so it works well for playing for a month and then letting new games build up and then diving in for a month. So this is definitely a short, quick playthrough. Like this is a perfect rental, or for like a pizza party, or you have some people over. Like this is awesome, especially since it's lots of co-op. It's
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, this seems like a good Saturday morning. You're kind of bored, throw it on for a couple hours, play it. You can beat it in like a couple sittings. Nothing major.
Yeah.
Nice. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. It's nice. There you go. Now that you know how terrible a consumer Tyson just kind of became a worse person in everyone's mind. So there you go. Nice.
Yep.
Story
Well,
of this game.
that's me lifting the veil, everybody.
And I just have patience. I don't care. I just don't care about things. I'm just apathetic towards everything, though. So, all right. So, story of this game. So, watching the evening news, Bebop appears and announces the Foot have returned and are taking over the Statue of Liberty. But why? So, very similar to Turtles in Time, the story. And obviously, after the series is over, is kind of the timeline I think we're working with. I don't know. Did I mention that in what? Are you buying it? Yeah. So kind of chaos has died down. You have to assume at some point, maybe like towards the end of the series, it's happening. But it definitely takes the continuity of, I think, Turtles in Time as well. So it's kind of a cool end nexus point for this series. Nice. And with that, level notes. So this game is kind of hard to talk about for the Let's Play section. We could talk about every detail or just bosses, maybe color scheme, right? We could talk about each individual like level, but that seems like we're not giving it fair justice. So instead, I'm going to keep track of the Foot Clan Battle Royale. So the Foot Clan are metallic soldiers that go clang. They have different colors, and each color comes with kind of a unique fighting mechanic. And I went and I actually kept track of the introduction of each color throughout the game, and we're going to mention it as we go through the game. So I played through the game once, and then I went back through and I made meticulous notes on when a colored foot soldier appears.
Oh, wow. You went really hardcore in depth.
This might be the only medium that this exists. So currently right now, there is nothing. There is no wiki. There is no fandom wiki or anything like that keeps track on this. So the Podtendo audio podcast might be the only place that actually gives you a list of when do these colors appear in the video game as of now, December 23rd, 2022. So I did a first on the internet.
Nice. I found a list of them,
Yep.
but it's definitely not
when do they
they show.
See?
Yeah.
See, that doesn't exist yet. No one's done that. So there we go. So if somebody wants to use my notes, if somebody wants them, just ask. I will like push them out to you. Like I'm not keeping them, obviously. And then as well as we're doing the battle royales, we're going to talk about other stuff. We'll talk about, we'll describe the level, mention the bosses, and then we can either talk about like the level, the boss, talk about if we had the toy. Do you remember the toy?
Any neat features to it, like if there's a cool Easter egg or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're going to go for. So that's our game. That's the challenge. Meet the challengers. So there you go, Tyson. If you need to reference, like if I say pink, you can find the list, go to that. Oh, okay, I remember that guy. He has the axe. Great. But I'm not going to read them out. All right.
No, that's fair.
All right, so we're going to start with stage 1, jaw-breaking news. So you battle foot soldiers through the Channel 6 building. The boss here is Bebop. The Foot Soldier Battle Royale. So you have to pick which of these do you think is the greatest. We're going to start with Purple. So he's just kind of unarmed. Cyan. He is blunt weapons. Indigo, which is a shield. And Blue, which is the katanas. So of those, let's start with, I guess we have to do the Battle Royale. So of those, which is the greatest? Who's going on? Who's advancing in our tournament?
Dang. I think I got to go with the blue guy. The shield guys can kind of get you on a pinch, but if you just move around behind them, they're super easy. The purple guys are just the generic, first people.
I wouldn't have imagined they would have went very far in this contest, other than the nostalgic and classicness of them. I agree. I also think the blue guys, although, why are you jump attacking and sticking your sword so far into the ground? Otherwise, of that first level, did anything stand out? Was Bebop challenging? Was it interesting to go to the Channel 6 building? Do you remember having the Bebop toy?
I do. I remember the Bebop toy. This is, I don't know, it's kind of fun because you unlock Burn, the boss, because his name's actually Burn, because it's Burn and Vern, because of course it is. You unlock him. I think the battle with Bebop's pretty fun because he does like a charging attack and then just stuns himself and you just like run up and slash him. So pretty basic first little level, but it gets you a chance to kind of get your feet yourself familiar with all the controls, even though the controls are super tight. And I don't know, I picked it up really easily. So
I had 0 to no issues whatsoever. All right, so stage 2, Big Apple, 3 p.m. As soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, game, I think I'm gonna like you. You won me over. So you battle through the streets of New York, avoiding cars and pitfalls. The boss here is Rocksteady. All right. So, of those, do you want to talk about, the name mechanic, obviously the classic Turtles in Time, everyone knows, Big Apple, 3 a.m., right?
Yep.
So the fact that they had a reference to that, It's pretty sick. I was like, all right, I adore you. And Rocksteady. I kind of feel like the Rocksteady toy, for some reason, we had like 5 of them.
Yeah, I don't know if it's one of those ones where they were just available, and if we just kind of collected them because everyone was like, oh hey, I bought you a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy, I know you guys like these. It's like, I actually have like 4 of these. I will add this to the pile of my bebops.
Or they're on sale, and mom's like, oh look, we could buy 3 of these toys for like $2 each. That's great. That's $6. That's what one costs.
Yeah, basically, and it's like, parents don't know any different. They're just like, they like, these are the bad guys, right? Okay, perfect. So they're like the army infantry guys. They're just a bunch of rhinos because they don't watch the show. They don't know. It's just, no, that's a character.
Yeah. Well, he needs 5 of them, so his pizza little disc shooter guy can shoot him. Is probably what they were thinking.
Right, of course.
We need a shooting range. So, all right. It's a Foot Soldier Battle Royale. After stage 2, we introduced to the pink and the yellow. Okay, so of those 2, do one of those beat the blue?
Okay, so we got the pink guys, and they got an axe.
Yeah.
And the yellow guys got a tonfa. Now, which ones are the tonfa? I feel like the tonfa guys were tricky.
Yeah, because I think they kind of throw. They're the ones that like throw the little boomerang things that come back. They are tricky, and the axe. I don't hate the axe charge attack.
Yeah. I mean, you can just quickly move up and down to kind of like sneak out of the way. But yeah, the samurai guy, he's not super impressive.
Okay.
Do
those beat?
You know what? Let's upgrade with the axe. Let's go with the axe guy.
All right. So blue is out. Pink is now the current reigning champion. Congratulations.
I think there is also some fun things. Like sometimes like the foot soldiers in the background will be like having an ice cream.
Yeah.
And then they'll throw the ice cream at you and you're like, that's just, I love those like little touches in this game. This game's filled with that stuff.
Yes, very much so. There's lots of care and love put into every single level. All right, so on to stage... Oh no, before we get to stage 3, we have to ask a random question. I remember when I started doing this during Golden Sun and then completely forgot about it for Castlevania, Donkey Kong, Mario Golf.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, I'm glad Tyson remembered the same time I did. Okay, so what is the hook? Random question. What is the hook? What keeps you going in this game? Why are you going to play the next 14 levels?
I guess the hook is it has the same gameplay that you know and love from your childhood, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time and the arcade game. So it has that same feel to it. If you've played those games, you're like, okay, I get it. It's a fun beat 'em up with lots of action and tons of power-ups and different variety of enemies. And the hook, I guess, is to finish exploring the world because you're like, wow, how deep do all these references go? So cool. For me, I guess the hook is the nostalgia.
That's it.
Because it's like,
yeah. Stage 2. By the time I got to stage 2 and I saw Big Apple, 3 p.m., I felt like I was in a safe place. I felt like the game creators cared about this material and wasn't going to be bastardized, and I was going to be excited, and they were going to treat everything with respect. And I was just kind of felt safe and wanting to explore the rest of the game without like being like, I'm going to be frustrated with this, aren't I? Right? It just kind of put me in a nice settled spot. So that was the hook. I just felt very comfortable playing this game. Okay, on to stage 3. Mutants over Broadway. So you had a bridge with a hoverboard. You just avoid some obstacles and learn how to jump attack. The boss here was the Turtle Tenderizer.
Yeah, I think there's like some enemies on helicopters that fly around at some points. Those guys are a little tricky, but everybody else is pretty, they even like give you the whole, hey, Arrow, there's a warning coming up ahead. And we didn't talk about this yet, but there's like 3 challenges usually on every, or there's like challenges or unlockables.
Yep.
And as soon as you beat a level, you can actually see the list. So you can actually just keep track of everything. So if, let's say, you missed an unlockable or something, you can just go back to that level, replay it. Or if you're trying to beat all the challenges, which some are ridiculous, some are like take no damage, and some are like avoid or like to kill somebody with 3 jump attacks or use 3 specials.
Hit guys into avoid, don't get hit by more than 3 obstacles. Yeah. 3 challenges. The collectibles, I found my first playthrough and I got 100% of them. So they're not like they're hidden as long as you're destroying the objects, right? So whether it's like a newsstand or a box or just double check kind of everywhere, you find those. And then the challenges, if you want that extra little bit of challenge, right? Like your platinums or your achievements, right? Those are kind of just built into the game. I didn't put too much weight on them.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
But it'd be a fun thing to go back, and if I wanted to keep playing this game and experiencing it, there you go, something to do. Turtle tenderizer, hoverboards, no foot soldiers. All right, so on to stage 4, Rumble in the Zoo. So you fight through a zoo, you avoid stampeding animals, and fend off archers. The boss here is Ground Chuck and Dirtbag. All right, so what are we going to talk about there? Ground Chuck. I, for some reason, remember that toy. I never owned it, but I saw it, and I was like, I want those toys.
Yes, they were always on the back of the box. They were like, I'm sure they were Chase toys. Where like there was one in every box, and the person who stocked the shelves was like, I'm just buying this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're cool looking.
They were. Oh, and like I mean, the one guy's got like a little miner hat on, and the other guy is like half cyborg and half bull, and he charges around. So it kind of gives you that mixture of
Yeah.
the previous like Bebop and Rocksteady's, but together. So from a gameplay standpoint, it's kind of you've already trained you for this, but now you got to fight two of them.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
kind of a simpler version of, I guess, Bebop and Rocksteady, right?
Yep.
There you go. But the toy in my mind of Dirtbag stood out specifically, and I was like, oh yeah, I definitely remember these. And maybe they were just, there was definitely some series of toys that we missed. Like I'm guessing this and Chrome Dome were probably in the same release-ish. And we just, for whatever reason, were into other toy series at the point. I kind of missed out. So, all right. So on to any new foot soldiers. Yes, we get 2. We get magenta and green. So we've got pink, which is our axed warrior, up against magenta, which has whips, and green, which is bombs and arrows.
I might need to go with the green guy who throws bombs.
All right.
Bombs are pretty OP. They do a lot of
Little AoE, as the kids say.
Yeah.
All right, it's on to stage 5. So King of the Spill. King of the Hill reference. All right, so we fight through the New York City sewers, avoid a train, and we have to fight giant mousers. The boss here was Rat King.
Yeah. Very cool. I love the little mouser design in this. They're always a fun addition.
I don't know if I liked the Rat King. He kind of was like kind of a gross toy. He was like, had a weird sticky, I don't know, he just felt weird, if I recall. But I loved the Rat King's sewer skier. And sometimes at work, if there's ever a pallet jack around, you can like kind of step on it, and if you wiggle the wheel, you move around. I still to this day pretend I'm like the Rat King, being on my little pallet jack as I travel around places. So,
well, I'm glad that stuck with you. That's a good character design then.
Yeah, and like his boss battle, I think the one from Turtle Time is better because that's when he just kind of like plays a flute and rats come at you, and I'm like, eh.
Oh yeah, you can just roll this guy.
Yeah,
he's super easy.
Not too tough, but I was like, I kind of feel like you're done better in Turtles in Time. That might be one of the only times that I would say that's the case, right? So there you go, Rat King. No new foot soldiers. So we're on to stage 6, Mall Meltdown. You fight through a back alley, through a loading dock, and then through 2 stories of a mall. The boss here is Tempestra. Tempestra. She's like a weird video game lady who materializes in other Tonka and a Razor, I think is what happens. How that works.
Yes. Oh, yes. I was like, why am I not remembering this character? Yes. Okay. It's an okay boss battle. Kind of reminds me of Super Shredder with it teleporting.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. It's, I don't know, it's an all right fight. Tempestra, I don't recall her from so she must be late series Turtles. Don't really recall that one. Mall location, There's these really annoying big, I don't know what you even call them, machines that the purple foot soldiers ride in this one that require a lot of damage, and unless you use kind of your special super attack on them, they're really difficult damage. So if you kind of, I would save my super attacks for them. Although one of the challenges in this area definitely is don't use a super attack. They know it's easier. They are challenging you to beat it without it. So damn them. And our entrance. Wait, did you have a thing? Did you say something about this?
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, like the spiders remind me of the robots from the Spider-Man animated series.
There you go, sweet. And then the foot soldier battle royales, we have the dark blue, and I believe they use the flail. So our green bombs better than our dark blue flails.
You know what? I'm gonna stick with bombs.
All right, sweet.
I know there's some other guys coming up that are better,
Okay,
but
great. All right, so then we get to stage 7, rooftop running reptiles. So we fight across a rooftop. We can kick the Foot Clan down holes and avoid the soldiers with spears, because they kind of charge across the screen and then they get stunned. If they hit you, they don't get stunned. The boss here is Bebop and Rocksteady. All right, so we're up on the roofs. Have to fight 2 bosses. Pitfalls. Anything stand out here?
No, kind of a fun little level. It's nice that they're keeping the variety different.
Mm-hmm.
But no, just a pretty, like, now they're really stepping up the level design, so it's not safe to walk everywhere. Yeah, and on to our battle royale. We actually have 2 new people enter, don't we?
Lime green, which is our spears, and white, which is our sabers. And I think these guys block. So are we fans of we have bombs, spears, or sabers?
Yeah, I think the sabers, the blocking is actually like fairly tricky because they tend to gang up on you, and you can't just easily just hit them first anymore. You now need to kind of incorporate the strategy of going behind them, but they also can poke you. So it's a neat little mechanic. They're starting to get more difficult.
There you go. So then we're on to from Segway Jones to Segway Skies with stage 8, Panic in the Sky. So we take the air to chase Krang. Oh yeah, and I guess that's kind of like the plot is, for some reason we're chasing Krang's suit's head.
Yeah, it almost seems like they're trying to get Krang somewhere.
Yeah, and like, I don't know why he was in Channel 6. Like, maybe that's where they were storing him, but they've kind of stole him and taken him. And we have to chase him across the sky because he was stolen from the rooftops by Wingnut, who was a bat. All right. So you have to... I think we're on a rocket board again. This one wasn't as difficult, I think, as the bridge, if I recall. And Wingnut was the Series 1 Series toy, or Series 2 toy that we just didn't have. And I kind of feel like our parents were really obsessive with the fact that we didn't have Wingnut and Screw Loose.
Yeah, well, it kind of helps to have 2 obsessive parents who will, you know what? I props to them for going out of their way to try to track down the whole series for us. Because us dumb kids, we were like, yeah, toys. I want them all.
Oh, that's
we didn't realize that they were series, and but like
that's the thing. And like we'd go to like our sand store, and like enough to the point where we had every single toy, and the fact we didn't have Wingnut and Screw Loose, and they didn't have any, and like our parents would ask the clerks and stuff, do you have one? Could you find one? Could you save one for us? Right? Yeah. Did I grow up with like over consumerism in my life? Yes.
Yes.
It explains a lot when you look at all the crap I have in my basement. I get it, at least from an honest spot, right?
Yep. It's part of our history.
It's our Podtendo heritage moment.
Yeah.
Wingnut.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So, Mom and Dad, you listening? You wanted to buy me a Christmas present. Wingnut only costs $7,000 on eBay right now. You could finally fulfill my childhood.
Jeez.
Is
that a sealed copy?
No, I was just joking. Here, let's see. Okay, let's do this actually. At our next random question, while I look that up, would this game make a better TV show or movie?
Well, it's kind of just a chase, so I kind of lean more towards a TV show. Because you could essentially just make the whole season arc one long chase of trying to get it, and every
of course it's based on a TV series.
Yeah, I know, but like I know not a deep plot, so yeah. But yeah, no, TV for sure.
Okay, you get a ratty ass box of Wingnut and Screw Loose, and it's only going to cost you $60. And you get
that's bargains from $7,000,
and like a mint condition one's only going to be $250.
Yeah, that's pricey though.
Yeah, that gets there. All right, so then we're on to halfway point of the game. I think there's 16 levels, so we're in the second half. Stage 9, Crisis at Coney Island. So we fight along a boardwalk, interact with carnival events, and fight the boss Leatherhead. Cool.
Yeah, very cool. You know, I always liked Leatherhead. Yeah. I'm glad that he's incorporated, and I think it's a fun little... we're actually at a carnival. I don't know. I love the little different levels that they're choosing. It's so different, and New York's such a cool setting, so that you can do all these cool things where you can go different areas and everything feels fresh and new. So
Sweet.
yeah.
All right. So then with this, yeah, Leatherhead. Something about I also really enjoyed him, and it's like his Cajun accent. And it's weird that him and Gambit had this like kind of cool appeal, and it was almost like I don't know, this like I don't know, yeah, whatever you want to call it, like Cajuns were just cooler. I don't know, it's a weird thing in the '90s. They were like, oh, look at these guys, they kind of speak like they're French, but it's okay because they're American, so we can like these French people.
Yes.
All right.
No, I just like, yeah, he was cool design. He was like a boxer, but also like charged, and I don't know, the alligator.
The toy
like,
though was kind of weird because he was like a vertical, not a horizontal. Like he didn't stand up; he laid on the ground, so he was hard to play with. But he had a cool jaw, and I liked touching his teeth. There you go. Foot Soldier Battle Royale's back. We have 3 new introductions: red, teal, and a black. Do they outdo our white katana users? So we have a guy who blocks. And we have guys with crossbows or plungers. The guys with the pole axe, that's their teal, and black, a pair of size.
I think the black guys were tricky.
Yes.
Because they would block, but also they striked really quickly.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have a strong attack, like I know I'm trying to remember when I played as Leonardo, was it difficult? Because when I was playing as April, you just crush everything. It doesn't matter. But I'm pretty sure those guys gave me a lot of grief, and I did end up having to use the taunt button every now and then. When after you clear a screen, use the taunt button so you have a special saved up.
Yeah, and the black guys definitely were the most difficult, I believe, to kind of battle, right? So I'd give them they're currently the clubhouse leader. They're probably just the toughest, so I imagine they're probably going to win this. On to stage 10, a few screws loose. We fight through the streets of New York City. It's kind of generic. And the boss here is Metalhead, and not Screw Loose, who is Wingnut's partner, which is kind of confusing.
Yeah.
This Metalhead is harder than the Turtles in Time. All right? Yeah, sure.
Very much so. Yeah, 100%.
Sure.
But it's just like, I don't know. Kind of, this is where you can see the game starts to kind of get like a bit repetitive.
I think it's probably the worst level. Just as we're talking so far, stage 10, I get to it. I'm like, I'm going to keep playing. I know there's only 6 levels left. Hopefully they're better. This is probably the one I'm like, I don't really care. The final, I think we have 2 more entries. One of the final entries is the light blue foot soldier, who's introduced in stage 10, better than the black foot?
Oh, dang. What's the light blue guy have again?
I don't know. It's nowhere on the list. That's weird, right?
It's mystery.
Yeah. So the
sure,
mystery.
You know what? Let's go with the mystery.
All right.
Because it could be anything. It could be a boat.
All right, light blue. You're currently the clubhouse leader. We have to double check to see if that actually works and go from there. So where are we at? Clubhouse leader, light blue, mystery. Maybe it doesn't even exist. Maybe I screwed up. All right, so stage 11, Dinosaur Stampede. We fight Stegosaurus warriors in a museum. The boss here is Captain Zorax, who's the Stegosaurus leader. And there's no foot soldiers. It was all right. It was fine. Stegosauruses are kind of like interesting guys, are interesting characters in the turtle universe.
Yeah. It's it's like one of the called like Triceratons or something.
Yeah, there you go, Triceratons.
They're always fun. I'm happy that they make an appearance, and it breaks up the monotony of just smashing a million soldiers at this point.
Yeah. And they're a little different. And they have like 2 different. They have guys that will teleport in and have shields, and then they have guys that charge. So a lot of jump attacks here would probably be good.
Oh yeah. They do the trick, but these guys they do have that charge attack, and that can wreck you up. Yeah. So
all right. And in stage 12, it won't fly. So I think we're in kind of like a broken down building, and there's like some science stuff. And the boss here is Baxter Stockman. Probably lots of mousers because he loves mousers.
Here. Sorry, I was still trying to find this light blue guy because it's
like, does he just not exist?
Well, even on the Wikipedia page, there's purple, cyan, indigo, blue, pink, yellow, magenta, green, light blue, dark blue, lime green, white, red, teal, black, orange. No light blue.
Okay, so then light blue doesn't exist. So that was a fake entrance. That was just one of the other. That was the pink or the purple guy showing up in different colors. He doesn't do anything different. So technically, our clubhouse leader is still black.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. And this one has some pretty cool laser zones that's gonna keep coming back, and some stuff that pops out of the ground. I feel it was sometimes find that the backgrounds are a little bit more interesting, and they do add some character to it. So
yeah, and they gotta switch things up a little bit and add more environmental attacks, I guess, as it were. So cool. All right, and then we're on to stage 13. Do they go to Dimension X at this point? So stage 12 is the last in New York.
Must be.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Or maybe the next. Yeah. No. Definitely that one.
No.
Yeah.
Because
all right. Because now we're in Dimension X, and that's kind of where we see the Technodrome resting towards the end of the series. So it's went back there. So stage 13, Technodrome Redux. It's the big bad's lair. Seems kind of smaller than the other areas. I would actually say that environments and backgrounds here aren't as intricate as the others. They're kind of boring. The Technodrome from the Turtles in Time game actually looks better. And the boss here, we get General Trag, who's like a big rock guy, and Chrome Dome, who's a metallic robot shredder.
Yeah, and they do a ton of damage. And a couple of the guys got bazookas, and they'll blow you up. I like the double boss battles one after another. I think that's really cool, especially because the one guy kind of fakes you out because he looks like Shredder, has like similar attacks like Shredder, but it's called Chrome Dome, which is obviously just like, and he's apparently the metallic master of the Technodrome. So he's like, he runs the Technodrome. It's got to be Shredder.
Yeah, and if you know how to grab, so if you just walk up to a foot soldier and you don't attack, you just grab them and you can just kind of press up throw, and you'll throw him into the screen when he kind of jumps away from you. He comes back down, you can lay damage. Otherwise, you have to beat 6 purple foot soldiers. He drops like a gas tank, you hit it, and then he comes down and you can do damage. So
yeah, and I finally learned how to throw into the screen on command. Only took somebody actually like I like how they do the controls in this game because it seems so intuitive.
Yeah, sweet. And then our final entrant in the Foot Soldier Battle Royale is here. He's orange. He throws bombs. Is the orange bomber better than the black guy with the size?
I don't think so. No. But he definitely, like, the bomb, like, they'll pop out of nowhere and they'll just hit you with a bomb. And I swear I always just randomly get hit. But
yeah, like to throw this around. All right, so there you go. So black, you're the winner. You're the strongest. Congratulations. Random question. Do you want to beat or complete this game? So there we go. So you got, do you have the urge? You got 3 levels left. If someone gave you the chance, took your Switch out of your hands or your controller and said, do you actually want to complete this game? Like, are you compelled to complete it at this point? Or have you had enough? What would you say?
Oh, I took it as like, do you want to just like beat it, like play it once, or do you want to complete it, like do all the challenges and deep dive into this?
Bingo. That's definitely what that's supposed to be. Is are you just going to play the next 3 levels, walk away, or are you going to complete this game? Where are you feeling right now?
I think I still just want to beat it because there's some of the completion stuff that I'm like, I'm not going to do the don't take damage. Like that would be easier to do with like a group of friends where everybody's like, okay, protect this person at all cost. Whereas it's like, I don't know, to me that would be so hard to do on your own. I just don't want to do it, but I will get all the unlockables and I will play the game to the end, and maybe I'll play a few different characters, mess around with it, but I'm not gonna grind hours just for a perfect run of certain levels.
There you go. So beat or complete. That's a better way of saying. All right, so beat. I'm also a beat. Stage 14, 3 levels to go. The Lost Arch Enemies. All right, so we fight through a prehistoric dirt area. There's some pizza monsters. There's a rolling rock. If you hit like a little statue, a rolling rock comes. And the boss here is Slash.
Yeah, I love the Dimension X, and to battle against Slash is so cool because he's got 2 swords. He's big, he's strong. He's kind of like he's a fun character. I'm so happy that like a lot of the Turtles in Time villains have shown up, but they've also introduced some like of the other new toys like Dirtbag and stuff like that. Where it's like I'm really happy that the characters that I'm more fond of, like Slash, are near the end of the game, and Baxter and Metalhead. It's like cool that those guys actually get a time to shine instead of always being some like Well, Baxter always being the first guy that you fight.
There you go. Yeah, I did enjoy having the toy. It was a pretty cool toy. Very lean character. If you ever watched the TV show, he's like a weird turtle from a different dimension, and he really wants a palm tree, and he calls it his binky. Tough luck for my man Slash. There you go. Good.
Much cooler character, not so much in the TV show.
Yeah, cool level. He jumps around. He's definitely bigger and stronger than the turtles, but dumb and wants a binky. All right, stage 15, Outworld Strangenoids. So it's a techno cave with a bunch of spikes in it. They also damage enemies, which I think is just phenomenal. I love that. I love when environmental events actually affect the enemies, not just you. So there's certain parts where enemies will come up at the bottom of the screen and there's a bunch of spikes and you're just like, I'm just going to sit here and wait and watch all these foot soldiers die. I really enjoyed that. And the boss here is Krang. And then you also have to, as soon as you're done, you're like, whew, survived. You have to fight Shredder.
Yeah. You actually get from the first time you see him, now we finally get a whoop him. And it's nice that I like the doubleheader of the villain again. Kind of raises the stakes. Because you still only get the certain amount of continues. So you get I think it's 3 continues or what the heck it is. So if you've used all your stuff and then you die, you got to go back and restart the whole stage again. But it's, I don't know, a lot of fun. I think that both the Krang and Shredder battles are reasonable, but not super difficult. I think they have okay patterns as well. Everybody's been pretty straightforward. It's never like, oh, I'm so lost on this guy. How do I beat him? It's
if you give yourself
watch the patterns.
20 seconds to orient yourself to the pattern, you should be fine with any of the bosses in this game, right? So nothing super tough. And then finally, we're done. We escaped Dimension X. All we have to do is save the Statue of Liberty. So we head to stage 16, Wrath of the Lady. And as soon as I heard that, I knew that Shredder's daughter was in one of the games and she was really, really tough in one of the fighting games. And I was like, wait, do we have to fight her? No, it's the Statue of Liberty. So we have to battle 2 bosses. They have the Statue of Tyranny on a rooftop instead of the Liberty. It's Tyranny. And then you go to Times Square and you have to fight Super Shredder.
Yeah, brilliant. Love, because at the beginning of the game, what were they doing with the Statue of Liberty? It's like, no, they're going to make it the Statue of Tyranny. And she's got some cool shades, and she looks all just like Krang's body, but souped up. It's very fun. I'm glad that they actually did something with this instead of oh no, they stole the Statue of Liberty. Why? To strike fear and pull out the turtles. It's like, that's not a reason.
Yeah, this one they were making a big doomsday weapon. She's got big guns. Although April O'Neil, just a simple average reporter, can beat you up. Maybe make a better boss. And then Super Shredder, when you jump down to Times Square, one of the better bosses in the game. He's kind of big. He's overcharged. He has, he runs around, produces flames. He has flame rings that he shoots out. And then at some point, he kind of the mutagen explodes out of his body, and he's vulnerable. That's when you do most of your damage to him. It's kind of a fun take on the Super Shredder. He's less scary and powerful, and seems more vulnerable.
Yeah, and I think that it's a cool way of handling it. You don't want to just address him straight on. You want to kind of wait for him to show his vulnerability and then strike. So it's a lot of just avoiding damage until it's your turn to attack.
And I think it'd be fun boss to fight with 4 people. If you had 4 people playing at once, I kind of feel like there would be a lot of chaos in the thing, and it would be I don't know. It's a good final boss for a game that's supposed to include a group of people, right? But it also works in a solo experience.
Yeah, and because especially the AoE damage in spots, you're not always going to be in the safe spot with 4 people. Sometimes you're just going to be the odd person out that gets I'm on the wrong side of the screen. Guess I'm taking damage, and everybody else just stares at you as you get pummeled. Yeah, there you go. So I think it'd be a lot of fun too.
Sweet. All right. So there we go. So then the ending of this game, after you beat Super Shredder, is the day is saved. The turtles watch the news as Vern reports that the city is now saved as a result of the green 4 frog punks. And then it's credits. Son of a gun.
Yep. And then depending on who you beat it with, you get a little story bit.
That's right. Yes. I don't know if I was paying attention. What the hell happened with Casey?
Casey crime fighting never stops. So he just goes back to fighting crime. Everybody kind of does their thing. I'll run through it. I have a list.
Okay.
So Donatello, he says, with New York safe, Donatello gets back to his machines. And it's literally like from the cartoon. It's him with a little latte machine. If you've seen the opening animated bit, it's all like the screenshots from that. So, and Raphael's, and even after beating the bad guy, Raphael is still a hothead. Luckily for him, there's always more baddies to bash, and he's holding his pizza. Leonardo's just cut down the training things, and it says, I won't read them all. So he's just cutting down his stuff, his training. Michelangelo's busting a move. April's using her camera on her bike and has a turtle communicator. Casey's obviously like busting two foot soldiers, splinters, and meditating.
There you go.
That's
cool.
So
proud of his fun. Yeah, and they're all cute. Yeah, and like Tyson said, Michelangelo's partying on his dance floor that he's party duting in the first or in the cartoon or in the opening. Cool. Awesome. Great. Current thoughts. What a blast from the past. This game may have been made for me. It includes everything from the series that kind of has a special place in my heart. Like I said, it kind of made me feel very comfortable and safe just as I was playing it, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. Solid gameplay, good level design, great controls, not too frustrating, very nostalgic. I love the overworld map, so we didn't mention that, but all the different levels you can kind of pick in any order. You get the little turtle van, you get to drive around. The collectibles, the challenges. I didn't know that Master Splinter, April, and Casey should be playable characters, but now that I have played as them, I think they probably always should have been included. Awesome, great additions. And is this the best Turtle game of all time? And is this game better than Turtles in Time? Yes. I probably would play this over Turtles in Time. I like Turtles in Time, but it definitely feels outdated at this point, and this is just a fresh take, a new experience, and I love it. Tyson, your current thoughts?
Yeah, I echoed all your sentiments. It's so good. I think it's a lot of it's the little touches that makes up the experience so enjoyable, where I had a smile on my face the whole time, from the music to the different characters showing up to the fun things the foot soldiers would be doing. Everybody kind of had like that fun cartoony feel. It wasn't like super taking itself seriously. They had time to make some jokes, and like it's kind of neat that the ending is kind of like how the show starts with the cartoon. So it's kind of like after the end of this one, that's kind of what they were doing. So when you're watching the cartoon, they just finished the Shredder's Revenge, and it's nice to kind of like I'll tie it in together. And just like this game gives me warm and fuzzy feelings. And I'm not a big pizza guy, but playing this game just makes me want to eat pizza and keep playing the game, because I've played it probably 3 times now. I don't know if I want to beat it with everybody, but maybe probably in the next couple of years I'll have beat it enough times to have beat it with everybody. So it's fun. It's definitely the best Turtle game that I've played. So
yeah, I can't imagine one greater than this. Like maybe there's something that we missed along the line on like the GameCube or something, right, in that generation. But no, this is probably up there, right? What would you change? I don't know. It's pretty solid top to bottom, right? Like,
we got to fix those credits.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's it. You can't not discredit the guy who played Slash's voice. All right.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, he has some very good dialogue.
I played this game without sound, so I had no idea that there was dialogue in this game.
Yes. Well, I think Slash just grunts.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. There you go. So, and final, are you buying it? We're going to put a bow on this game because it's Christmas. All right. So this game takes place after the events of the animated series, after an extended period of extended peacetime. The chaotic events of this game occur. Sure, why not? Are you buying it?
Yeah, of course.
Great.
Even the ending kind of ties into it. So
great, awesome. So there we go. So we're gonna look at we have a cultural significance here, and then I think we're done. Celebrate Christmas. There you go. So final, done with this game. Anything we missed? No, not really.
Nah. We went through this game pretty in depth, especially for just a beat 'em up.
Yeah, sweet. All right, so cultural significance. In this section, we look at game design, the lore, inspirations, turning points, interesting stories, talk about how this game relates, give other examples, and tie it all back together in the end. This is a love letter to the early Teenage Mutant Ninja arcade games. Why didn't they say Turtles there? It's weird. And is heavily influenced from the 1987 series. There have been 5 TV series that have featured the Turtles, 1 live action, and 4 animated. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. 1987 was probably the second best. The 2003 series is arguably better. And we kind of did a love letter for that series and the Turtles just in our Turtles in Time show. So let's go off brand. And rather than talk about this game, there's heaps of sarcasm. Man, this is a really bad sentence that I wrote here. Let's look at 1987. Talk about the best of in honor of this being the last show of the year. Any questions?
No. Looks like we're just kind of going through what happened.
All right. Yeah, I would say go back.
Year.
This pairs really well with our Turtles in Time show. So if you go back and listen to that, we kind of gush a little bit and we go through the toy series and we talk about all the different time travel-y toys. We could have done that here and like looked at all the toys on that cool website that I mentioned there, like the turtlemuseum.com or whatever it's called. And I was like, no, we're not going to do that because this is obviously a callback to the 87 series. Let's look at 87 and make it a little shorter. There we go. I think we're going to do top 5 of each category. So we're going to look at 1987, the top TV shows. The best 5 shows from 1987 are Golden Girls at number 5, Murder, She Wrote at 4, 3 has Cheers, 2 is Family Ties, and number 1 is The Cosby Show.
Oof. Wow, that, yikes. Murder, She Wrote's fun. I enjoy me every so often, a little murder sleuthing that sometimes is just pulled out of the blue. And I think we lost Angela Lansbury this year, so our RIP.
Man, lots of those old ladies that were old in 1987 died in 2022. Good for them.
Yeah. You know, hey, that's a long life, and for me to know Angela Lansbury's most of my life, just like following her career from Mrs. Teacup to, now I don't even know the lady name from Murder, She Wrote.
You're doing better than me, to be honest with you. How about the top animated shows? So we've got Elf, and that went animated series. That went 2 seasons. Creepy Crawlies, 1 season. DuckTales had 4 seasons. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lasted 10 whole seasons. And then The Adventures of Teddy Ruxpin started this year, and that was 2 seasons. My biggest takeaway from that is, did we not have a Creepy Crawlies machine? It was like a little oven, and you put goop in it, and it turned goop into these like weird little plastic wiggly things.
Yes, I think we did. But the goopy things was always really expensive, so we always used it. I think we used it like maybe a couple times.
Yeah.
But there was even we lived in such a safe age where this was around the time where they released the metal one. So you could smelt your own like little toys, and you're like, we're now making children smelt metal.
Yeah.
And I guess the fumes from like the aluminum that you're smelting inside your kid's room with no ventilation, it's pretty bad for you.
Huh. Well then, all right. The fact that we had a Creepy Crawlies maker though, like when do you think that came out in reference to 1987? Because I kind of feel like we had it. So Creepy Crawlies.
It must have been like 85 or something. But also Teddy Ruxpin. That toy was terrifying. And did it start the Furby franchise?
It was like a talking toy. Let's see. Does it say
there must have
anywhere?
been lots of talking toys.
Magic.
Not just Teddy Ruxpin.
Does it say anywhere vintage? 1993. So 6 years after the TV show Creepy Crawlies, the real mold oven with 14 molds came out. So 6 years later. It's kind of strange.
Wow, that is you figured that it would be right around that time.
Yeah.
But I definitely remember that box.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool box. And I kind of feel like there was like weird Creepy Crawlies figures too at some point, wasn't there? Are Creepy Crawlies and Creepy Crawlers different things?
I think it's Creepy Crawlers.
Oh, and I just wrote it down wrong. Yeah. And like toys, figures. I feel like there was figures at some point, and they had like.
No, the Creepy Crawlies is probably the cartoon, but the toy is probably Creepy Crawlers.
Wasn't there like weird figures that had like goop in their stomach, and you could kind of like take it out and like flip it upside down? Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's just that, like, because there's alien bugs with bug mites. There's all sorts of gross things anything gross us kids were all about, eh?
I guess so. Like this one is like I kind of remember that guy. There was like a yellow guy and like a big white guy that looked like Colossus.
Should we probably continue and not going down the creepy crawlies?
Yeah, all right, cool. So
rabbit hole.
top movies. The top 5 box office was from 1987. Number 5, we saw Three Men and a Baby pulled in $70 million. Number 4
Jeez.
had The Untouchables, got $76 million. Fatal Attraction at 3 made $125 million. All right, so we get a bit of a jump. Number 2 was Platoon. It made $136 million. And the number 1 was Beverly Hills Cop 2. Drew in $153 million.
So this is like peak Eddie Murphy time.
Pretty much. But pretty big drop-off. Substantial. Like, he doubled the number 2, number 3, number 4. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, you know what? That's still pretty, like, look at those box office numbers. It's like, it's funny. Some movies nowadays wish they could do those numbers.
Yeah, nice. All right. Top sports moments. So the World Series was won by the Minnesota Twins. The NBA Finals was won by the LA Lakers. Stanley Cup champions were your Edmonton Oilers. The New York Giants won the Super Bowl. And then we'll end with just me reading out the top 5 songs from 1987. So the number 5 song was Bad by Michael Jackson. Number 4 was Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard. 3 was I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2. Number 2 was With or Without You by U2. So they obviously had a big year. And then the number 1 song was Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses.
Oh, classic.
Oh, yeah.
It's lots of classics. This is a interesting year to look back on. Lots of cool things I never really thought about. But dang, Edmonton Oilers as a Stanley Cup champion. That's a flashback.
Oh, yeah. Gretzky Dynasty. Good times. There you go. So, with that, we've now given you a quick, brief look. We reminded you of 6 months ago, but also 1987 briefly. We kind of went in depth into this game. We created the only documents at this time of what colors foot soldiers are introduced in each level. And that's about all we can do. We entertained you for a little bit as you work your final day before Christmas holidays. Can't wait.
Yeah, well, we try to keep you guys entertained, and I mean, this was a game that I was pushing for, but when it came out, I was like, no, we need to do an episode on this, and Mick was kind enough to be like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, Christmas works. It's kind of that time, holiday season. We always think, if we give you some boost, a shot in the arm, maybe you see this podcast drop, you're walking through Boxing Day, you see it, buy it. There you go. Yay.
Yep, 100%. I think it's a lot of fun. And even if you just want like a casual little fun experience, this is always just a good game just to play a couple rounds of. And because once you beat it, you can kind of pick around and choose whatever levels you want to go do. So if you want to work on those challenges, they're always waiting for you.
Sweet. Solid. Nice. So with that, wraps up the show. And we say goodbye. See you guys next year.
Bye.
Bye.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja